Happy Tuesday, Tigers, and welcome back to the world's greatest elementary school. We hope you all had a relaxing Memorial Day weekend and that we are all ready for another week of learning and growing. Tigers, this Thursday, May 29th, is one of our biggest school events of the year, our celebration of learning. You and your whole family are invited to come to Shadow Lake this Thursday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. There's going to be so much going on. We have food trucks in the bus lane from 5:30 to 7:30. We have culture fair in the commons. We have the science fair in the gym. Every classroom will be open during the event at specific times to show off your rooms, the projects, the things that you have been working on, what goes on in your classroom with your family. There'll be activities on the field with the PTA or with our PE teachers. There's going to be the PTA art auction in the courtyard. Oh my goodness, there's a math group coming. You do not want to miss this. Bring your whole family to Shadow Lake this Thursday, May 29th, for our celebration of learning.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. You heard Mrs. Christensen say that at the celebration of learning, we're going to have both a culture fair and a science fair happening. Tigers, it is not too late to sign up to participate in one or even both of these fairs. For the culture fair, students create a board that teaches about a country or a culture. In the past, students have had artifacts, they brought in food, they've done dances, or dressed, or had demonstrations as part of their projects. Participants are encouraged to have a passport stamp to share with the visitors who come by to see your project. For the science fair, participants have an informational board that presents facts about a topic or a project. You can do an engineering project, a science investigation project, or even a science demonstration. Information to sign up and ideas for projects were sent home, and if you need help, talk to your teachers. We hope to see a ton of our Tigers participate in one of these two fairs at the Celebration of Learning this Thursday.
All right, last Thursday, our amazing kindergartners, under the direction of Mrs. Moore, presented their evening performance of a 3 Piggy opera. They all did an amazing job, and we want to give them a huge congratulations. We also want to say thank you to all of the kindergarten teachers and other Shadow Lake staff that were in attendance to support our kindergarten students. And a huge shout out to Mrs. Moore on not only a fantastic job with the kindergarten 3 Piggy opera, but the amazing job that she does with all of our grade levels and the Tiger Chorus. Shadow Lake truly has the world's greatest music teacher. Mrs. Moore, thank you for all you do for our music program.
Well done, kindergartners, and awesome job, Mrs. Moore. Tigers, this is the last week to check out books from the library. All the books are going to be due next Friday, June 6th, so that they can be inventoried and will be ready for next school year.
And then you can always go to the public library, the Maple Valley Library, to get books over the summer. All right, Tigers, we know that with state testing happening and kind of finishing up, we have had some changes to our programming. This week, Recess Club will be on both Tuesday and Thursday during lunch recesses, and on Thursday we have Lunch Bunch with Mrs. Benjamin and Mr. Bubbles. Workout Wednesday is completed for the year, and final mileage awards will be given out at the end of the year assembly on June 18th. All right, Mr. Abbey, what is on this week's lunch menu?
All right, Tigers, here is this week's lunch menu. Short week. So today, Tuesday, we have chicken nuggets with potato wedges. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to have corn dogs and smiles. Thursday, cheeseburger. We're going to talk more about cheeseburgers in a second. And on Friday, pizza!
All right, Tigers, it's time to recognize more of our amazing Tigers who have been earning Tiger Paw tickets and were selected in this week's drawing. For kindergarten, we have Jaden in Mrs. Stamp's class, Yosef in Mrs. Hurley's class, and Asher in Mrs. K's class. Nice job, kindergarten.
All right, moving on to our first grade winners. Congratulations to Emerson in Ms. DeGroot's room. Maddie, you were selected in Ms. McClush's class. Janet, congratulations, you're the winner in Mrs. Unruh's class. And then Levi, you're the winner in Mrs. Nelson's classroom. Nice job, first graders.
All right, moving on to second grade, we have Daphne in Mrs. Kortenkamp's class, Monroe in Mrs. Ogle's class, Charlie in Mrs. Papini's room, and Emma in Mrs. Meek's class. Nice job, second grade.
All right, moving on to our third grade winners. Brittany, you're the winner in Mrs. Belmondo's room. Isabel, you are the winner in Mrs. Yassine's class. Marnie, congratulations, you were selected in Mrs. McAllen's room. And then congratulations to Whitman, who's the winner in Mrs. Mason's classroom.
All right, for fourth grade, our winners are Axel in Miss Bradley's class, Enzo in Mrs. Moffat's room, Caroline in Mrs. Shireman's class, and Jenny in Mrs. Isley's class. Nice job, fourth graders.
All right, and last but not least, our fifth grade winners. Congratulations to Michaela in Mr. K's classroom. Rosalind, you are selected in Mrs. Lish's class, and then Angel, congratulations, you were selected in Mrs. Peters' room.
All right, winners, when it is convenient for your class, they'll send you to the office to pick up your prize from the Tiger Paw Treasure Chest. Mr. Abbey, what's going on with story time this week? I'm feeling like there's something special happening.
There is. You heard me talk about cheeseburgers for today's story time. Miss Jen is going to be reading a story called Are You a Cheeseburger? Hope that you enjoy it.
All right, Tigers, we hope you all have a great weekend. Remember,
it's a great day to be a tiger.
Hello, and welcome back to Story Time with your librarian, Ms. Jen. We are in our final week, my friends, of library classes and checkout, which means we have an extra special book today for Story Time. This one was requested by a teacher, and I'll let you wonder why, and we'll share at the end something extra special about this book. So here we go. It is called Are You a Cheeseburger? Super cute. All right, my friends, here we go. This is Grub. Grub is a raccoon, and he is all by himself. See? And here is Seed. Seed is a seed, of course, and he is stuck in the trash. This particular seed and this particular raccoon had very little in common, except at that moment they were both in the same garbage can. "Hello," said Seed. Grub continued rooting around. "Oh, you are busy. That is all right. I am busy too." Grub stopped. "You are?" "I am looking for someone to plant me in the ground so I can start growing." Grub eyed the seed hungrily. "Will you grow food?" "I am not sure," Seed admitted. "Could you grow cheeseburgers?" "What is a cheeseburger?" Grub considered this. Something very good and very special. Maybe. We will have to wait and see. Grub had never seen a cheeseburger plant before. But he liked the sound of it, so he planted seed right away. "Now what?" Grub asked. Seed's voice called up faintly from underground. "Now we wait." "Humph!" Grub's stomach growled. "How long?" "I am not sure. We will have to see." The two spent every evening together from moonrise to moonset. Grub tried to be patient, but Seed began to wonder, what if he wasn't a cheeseburger plant? What if he was something else entirely? To help pass the time, they told stories. Grub told Seed about the top 3 cheeseburgers he had ever eaten. 1, half a cheeseburger, barely moldy. 2, a piece of cheeseburger bun with some mustard on it, rustled away from seagulls. 3, a greasy paper wrapper Grub could tell had once contained a cheeseburger. Seed told Grub all about the interesting things he saw down in the earth. 1, a long worm tunneling. 2, a slightly shorter worm tunneling. 3, 2 average-sized worms tunneling one night after the other, so that at first they seemed like one extremely long worm. What is happening down there? Grub asked. Seed looked around. It is dark. What is happening up there? It is dark too. Later, though, the sun will rise. What is that like? Seed asked. I am not sure, Grub confessed. I am always asleep then. But I have heard that it is like a cheeseburger, very good and very special. Both alone in the dark, Grub and Seed tried to picture the sunrise. Slowly things began to change. Hello again, said Seed. Seed, you're out of the ground. Yes, said Seed proudly. I am growing. That evening, Grub and Seed celebrated. Grub had a greasy piece of cardboard he was almost certain had once been the bottom of a pizza box. Seed had water. To the future! Sure and steady, Seed kept growing and growing. The cheeseburgers were nearly at hand. Finally, one morning, just before sunrise, Seed bloomed. Okay, said Seed. Oh, said Seed. Are the cheeseburgers ready? Asked Grub. Grub started. I do not think I am a cheeseburger plant. I think I am just a flower. A flower? Not a cheeseburger plant? No. So, no cheeseburgers then? No cheeseburgers. Grub was quiet for a long time. What is it? Seed asked. I am thinking, Grub said. About cheeseburgers? No, about flowers. Oh, what are you thinking about flowers? I am thinking that flowers are good and special too. Maybe even more special than cheeseburgers. More special than cheeseburgers? Seed gasped. Well, the same. This is Seed. Seed is a flower. See? And this is Grub. Grub is a gardener. They don't have any cheeseburgers, but they do have each other, and that is something very good and very special. And that's the end, my friends. A little funny on the back cover. Maybe. Okay, so I want to share with you why this book was selected today, and that is because Mrs. McGowan's class asked me to share this story. They reached out to the author, Monica Arnaldo. I believe she was born in Ontario, Canada, where the trash cans are often filled with raccoons and half-eaten cheeseburgers, but seldom any glowing seeds. When she wasn't drawing or reading, she spent much of her childhood pondering some of life's great questions, such as, can I pet that wild animal? And why not? She has since written and illustrated several picture books. So, Mrs. McCallan's class reached out to this author. So, pay attention. Here we go. Are you a cheeseburger? And look what she sent them. Is this Shadow Lake Elementary? Let's see if I can put them side by side. How cool is that? Make sure you stop by Mrs. McCallan's class and tell them how awesome of a gift this was from their author. All right, friends, remember, it's a great day to be a tiger. Thank you.